We got the coach that we wanted, man. We got it. Kubiak. He's on our side. He's on the dark side, bro. Like they call it, the real dark side, not Seattle's wannabe. But
Wannabes,
yep,
yeah.
exactly, man. Super Bowl champion Klint Kubiak is now the Las Vegas Raiders head coach. Another attempt making the playoffs for the Raiders, bro. And hopefully this one works out for a longer term instead of just a season. I like this guy. I wanted this guy coming into this new season on this offseason as a coach, and because the potential number one pick Mendoza, you know, we need a quarterback to develop, and having an offensive minded coach is what the Raiders would benefit by having this number one pick and then an offensive minded coach, right? So that's my plan. And hopefully, from the presser, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about and maybe what he has to challenge going moving forward for the Raiders, man. Obviously, he's got a list of things to do, and he's already started with hiring Mike McCoy. We're going to talk about him as well. So, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, Super Bowl champ Klint Kubiak on our side. He didn't even get a chance to celebrate, bro. He hopped on board on that plane and goes excited. And right after the Super Bowl, he said, "I'm going to Las Vegas." So,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead.
Yep, that's right, Raider Nation.
Yeah,
We got our guy. The first
yeah,
time ever, we got the cream of the crop when it comes to coaches. And I will say, I got nervous, because it's like, oh, we got to wait till the Super Bowl. Like, oh, is he going to bail or what? So, yeah. And then to see that presser, he was so excited because he tried to play it off. He was like, well, Super Bowl's over. I'm going to wait and see, sit with the family and decide what the next step is. And then she was like, oh, okay. So no answers today. She was just like, y'all know I'm going to the Raiders. What are y'all thinking? I'm going to the Raiders. So when I heard that, I was like, that dude was excited,
yeah.
and it makes sense, first round pick, all that cap space, yeah. Even though our years haven't been good, like the Raiders, legendary organization,
Yeah.
like it's well known. Like you make it there, you do it big, it's really something. So I like that a lot. And then the presser, oh my god, he sounded like Spytek.
Mhm.
Talking about like I want people that work hard. He's like I will figure out the scheme later, but let's get some real hard working folks in here to push everybody.
Yeah.
So I love that part, and I loved how he was like, we're not gonna sit there and just wait for somebody to keep messing up. Like if they're not doing their job, I'm gonna put in somebody that will. So I
Yeah.
like that. And then I think my favorite part was when he was like, I'm looking for teachers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, yeah. And I remember you asked me, you're like, so what does that mean? I was like, that means the opposite of Pete Carroll's son. That means these guys are going to learn. They're not going to go to Spytek asking him what we doing.
Yeah.
No, there's going to be a plan in place and we're going to be knocking it out. So I'm excited about that, and what he said about Crosby too. You just having breakfast with him, or having a cup of coffee, seeing him. The
Yeah.
first person in the building he saw was Maxx Crosby before he got there. Like he does not want to trade. You don't trade something like that. You don't
Right.
trade that work ethic that to show everybody, because you trade somebody like that, like dude was been like the most loyal player, the most loyal superstar. Like if these other superstars was going through
Right.
what we're going through, like they would be like, I'm out.
They would have already been
So
leaving. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, it's
exactly.
true,
So
man. And it's crazy that why should we get excited about Klint Kubiak, right? I mean, this guy, he's only been an offensive coordinator twice, basically in his season, in his career,
mhm.
and came up the ranks pretty quick. And I mean, you saw what he did in the playoffs. The
Yeah,
Sam Darnold, yes, he give him some credit, bro. In the Super Bowl, he ducked and dodged his way. He kept his cool because
yeah.
his if you pressure Sam Darnold when in New York, bro, he would have thrown interception after interception, right? So
Oh yeah. Oh
now
yeah.
he's seen poise, and that's teaching. That's the what Kubiak's credit as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
So
That's yeah. He put confidence in him.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, gave him
Yeah.
confidence. So that's why you
Hmm.
should be excited. And I think that's with Mendoza. If that is the number one pick, of course, I think it is. That's gonna be a recipe for success, in my opinion, bro. And I like both
Exactly.
part that he said about Genty, bro. Genty, you're great, you're awesome.
Hmm.
I seen what you did at Boise, but this is not a one man team. So everybody's got to step
Hmm.
in. And the line he mentioned
Yeah,
specifically,
specifically, yeah, he was like, I seen enough tape of that.
well, that's what I'm saying. So he's having everybody
Yeah,
doing, and to me,
yeah,
I expect good things, and so the challenges now that
yeah,
he has moving forward, that it's
for
daunting, bro.
sure.
And that was a good question in the presser, like how much of I think it was Rodriguez. He goes, how daunting is this, or how exciting? He's like, oh, it's not daunting to be the Raiders coach. I mean, but you're given the tools for success. You know what I mean? So and
Yeah,
moving forward. So
yeah,
yeah, that was his response, and I think that's something you got to look at. Now, last year compared to last year, some people might be like, sounds like it seems like the same damn thing, right? But last year it was like Pete was ready to win right now, right? He wasn't trying to
yeah,
build, and you could see it throughout the season. Honestly,
yeah.
hindsight,
How
right?
he treated the rookies. Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
we'll see, man. And
So,
and so moving forward, yeah, well, he's got to get now. He's got Mike McCoy, an assistant head coach. So
yeah.
at least things are turning
He's
around
put the
for the
right
better. We'll
pieces.
see how it goes and moves forward. But
Yeah. Yeah,
one
and we also
another.
got to remember.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, I was gonna say the other thing we got to remember is because we hired him so late, you know, we're at the slim pickings when it comes to the rest of the staff.
Yeah,
So I'm pretty sure he's gonna bring some people over from Seattle. But yeah, like he has to figure out who's gonna work best. Most people want really good teachers, so probably like the really good ones are already gone. So
yeah,
we'll see what we get. But there's still somebody out there. So we just got to get the right choices. Like you said, the resources are there, and I don't know what to expect, but I do know like the way he talks and the way Pete Carroll was talking, because Pete Carroll was like, "Oh yeah, me, Brady, Spike, we're going to be talking nonstop, talking,"
yeah,
and he was more like, "Yeah, Spike Tech is there. I'll call Brady when I want," but it was mostly everything else was about him and how he wants to do things. He wasn't
yeah.
like you know jockeying off of Spike Tech and Tom Brady. So
Right, right, right,
I did
right.
like that. And I like that a lot. And it just the way he just talked, like you're just looking at him, he's just calm. He's all like, "Oh yeah, we about to do some big things in here." You know.
Yeah,
So
no, I'm
yeah.
excited for Klint Kubiak, man. He's
Mhm.
talking to town, and a lot of people agree with what the Raiders are trying to do, but we shall see, man. I hope whatever the hell the aura in there needs to change. It needs to be a winning type of mentality. I
Yeah.
don't know what happened last year. I don't know if it was just Brennan Carroll
Pete's
and an
son.
O line. Yeah, and as well, right? Still Renault Pete, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how that
Yeah.
shit works,
I mean,
but
his thing was like the best player is going to play, but it wasn't happening. He wasn't putting the rookies. He wasn't taking out the people that were playing bad. And he was firing people, but he wasn't moving the right pieces. Like I get it, you don't want to fire your son, but move him
yeah,
somewhere else. Just tell him like, listen, it's not working out. Our O line is going to the GM. So that's the problem. This one, it shouldn't. The fact that he's looking for teachers, how he emphasized on hard working, like he's going to put the best player up there, and we already know he takes people out of the starting lineup. He took out what, two guards or two offensive linemen last year or this year. He was like, "You're not doing your job, so we're going to put somebody else in," and that's what happens. So you're like, if he's long as he's on the same page with Spike Tech, using the rookies from this
yeah,
year that we're going to get, like not just putting them in there just to put them in there, but if they're showing you in practice, like
mhm,
let him play. Like who would have known? Like if JPJ was in this right place, if we got Cross or Grant playing earlier, how good they could have been. Maybe he could have replaced Glaze, had Glaze play guard. Whoop de whoop like that. So many changes could have happened in that all line. So that's where it's going to begin. Like he needs to stick with the teaching. He needs to put the right players in front of there. And I think Spike Tech's a good drafting guy, a good drafting GM. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
picks. Maybe Thorin is the only one that we're a bit iffy. Jack Besh, we may have reached for him, but as far as I know, they're going to push it. Like there's a lot of potential for Besh. Like
Well,
that's
Jack
all I've
Besh
been
didn't
hearing
get much
all
playing time,
season.
though, bro. Jack Besh
Yeah.
didn't get playing
Yes.
time, so we can't really judge. And at the same time,
Exactly.
every time he was out there, he was converting those third downs. So who
Yeah,
knows?
that's what I'm saying. Is like I've been hearing a lot of good hype about. Like I
Yeah,
really think they're gonna try to push him into like being a really good receiver. So
yeah,
yeah, and Tucker, I think can Tucker could be like Shaheed. Rashad Shaheed from the Seahawks. I could see
Yeah,
him play a position like that, but more talented receiver. So there's that, and then I can't wait till he does with Brock Bowers. Like that's gonna be something because he was like Brock Bowers is gonna be the best receiver, not tight end receiver. He's gonna be the best receiver in the game. I was like, yeah, you better use his
that's
ass.
and that's exactly what I said. Now, who do you think you see him cutting? Like, obviously, I think Parham's up for grabs. I haven't looked at the free agency list, but
Yeah.
I think Parham and
Parham's a free agent, or it's going to,
yeah,
yeah. Parham is coming. I think we should release Kappa.
yeah, of
Um,
course, Kappa,
I
yeah,
think we got Meredith. Yeah, Glaze is still there.
yeah.
So I think it's just
He's
Parham.
still there for sure. So, oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
so you see him cutting Parham. I mean, because that's another thing, right? How much of these players are quality players? I mean, these guys were banking in the numbers. Besides Butler,
yeah,
but Butler by himself on the defensive side, Butler,
yeah,
is not enough, really, bro. He's not,
yeah.
So,
You need help. Yeah, like
do you see any of these guys getting cut? Do you see by Clint or trying to keep them?
I
Obviously, I
don't
think.
see them.
Go
I
ahead.
don't see him cutting Parham just
Yeah.
because guards are hard to get. I think you could trade them and get like a fifth round, fourth rounder, or
Mhm.
something like that. The D line wise, no, especially people that Spy Tech drafted. So I
Mhm.
don't see anything there. Maybe Lalu, just because he didn't show out. Um, but yeah, that's probably about it. And we're definitely bringing in some DN help.
Yeah.
Whether that's bringing in Snowden or Kavion Chase. If they're going to bring somebody else to help. And then we still have Kuntz and we still have um,
Yeah.
I forgot his
Kuntz
name.
was garbage, bro. A lot of people saying Kuntz didn't live up last year to what he did that one time, and so
So
I don't
the
know.
way I saw him, yeah, he didn't get the numbers, but the way that he looked, he was beating his guy.
Yeah,
Like you saw, some of the talent was there. He just maybe the injury didn't get him there. So maybe it's one of those that he needs the full year to recover. So I would still give him a chance. I mean, Crosby likes him, so as long as we keeping Crosby happy as well.
yeah,
And then Kuntz is not that expensive, so he's like
yeah.
13 mil, might be 15 mil. So I would still want to do one more year, but definitely bring in somebody else and see what we can do because we
Mhm.
need. I mean, look what the Seahawks did. They four-man rush most of the time. They had a rotation of players. Like
Yep,
not just
yep.
one person
The
stood
same way
out. It
the
was that
Eagles did
entire
it before. So
Yep.
yeah,
Yep. So that's the way we got to go. And I mean, we both saw like Tonka, flash a few times. So that's another person that I'm interested in seeing. Pekkas, JJ, I don't know. Maybe he's just still too raw, and he could be more of like a situational one. But
yeah.
yeah, I'd like to see what Tonka can do. See what we can get with that.
Man, so now it's time to get into draft season, bro. Draft season's coming up, my guy. And in this draft, they have the potential mostly concentrated. I mean, as far as like what's good in the draft is cornerback,
Yeah,
defensive tackles, wide receiver has a
and
solid
receivers.
class. Yeah, wide receiver has a solid class,
Mhm.
and the offensive line is what's hurting. So the
Yeah,
pieces we need, right? The pieces we need is the
yeah,
offensive line. I think the most desperate ones. Uh,
yeah,
bro, I mean, they got to draft at least one or two of these guys, but I mean,
yeah,
I don't know exactly what's how many. I think we have 9 picks, but
yeah. Just about.
because we have 4 and 6 for Jacoby, right? The
Yeah,
fourth and sixth pick
4 and 6 for
for this year.
Jacoby. Yep,
So,
yep.
uh, yeah. So there's that, and I think they should rely really on the defensive side, unless every other team goes out and gets themselves a defensive tackle or a wide receiver or a corner. So you
Right.
know what
Yeah. No, for sure.
using that, besides Mendoza, what else would you go after? Obviously, what do you think our
I
pieces?
mean, for sure the corners. I think that's
Yeah.
like one of the main ones because that's one of the issues last year.
Hmm.
And Stokes, you don't know how much longer Stokes has, or
Yeah.
at the elite level, or the level he was playing at. So I
Yeah.
definitely go there. D line, I would definitely have to get a few people. But at the same time, it's like, what do we do in free agency? Because I know there's like three old linemen that are like the cream of the crop. One of them is a
Yeah.
center, the other one's a couple guards. And if we do get the Lindstrom, the center of the Ravens, then JPJ is going to play one position. Then the other guard position, we who we got there. So we can play around a lot with that. So it all
Yeah.
depends on free agency. But yeah, I definitely want to go after corner. But corner's a tough one because
Yeah.
it's hard to find like good corners in the beginning. Like most of the good corners we know, they were found in the third, fourth, or fifth round.
Right.
You're not
Right.
that many like first round picks that are showing off.
Yeah.
Um, but then the O line, if the O line, it's weak, then we'll probably be reaching for an O line in the second or third round, and then just fill out the corners because we need corners. We need plenty of corners. I guess a couple, maybe one or two safeties because Powell, Mao, he fell off a little. Maybe it was just they weren't using him correctly because of Pete was, getting
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
So, get a safety, definitely get like two or three corners, like make them battle it out.
Hmm.
You always need all those corners. You always need three or four corners. So, people are
Yeah.
always getting injured. So that's what I would do, and then get a receiver. But you got to get a receiver that's different from what you already
Right.
have.
Right. Right. Right.
And maybe you got to find one that's similar to Thornton but better, like because he really did fall off. Thornton, like he really fell off, like at the point where he was like a
Yeah.
no dress for a lot of games. So I don't know if that's just like
Yeah.
if it was a Pete thing or just he just was not who we thought he was. So somebody like him, big with speed, a true number one type. Uh,
Yeah. Well,
Besh, he's
you, you
our
saw the games with
possession.
Indiana. Sorry, man, but you guys saw the game with Indiana and Mendoza. And in this draft, you
Yeah,
have Elijah Surratt, which he was one of those two receivers out there that was catching
yeah.
Mendoza. Man, what do you think about bringing him
Oh
back in?
yeah. I mean,
I don't know too
he's
much
already gonna
about.
have the connection, and
Hmm.
and that's something important, especially now more than ever, because you want to be like, okay, they're blitzing. I know he's gonna be there, and I'm gonna just toss it there. So that would be dope. I just hope he doesn't like just focus on him because I think Bowers is the guy that needs to be the main focal point of
Yeah,
our
yeah,
offense.
yeah,
But yeah, that's what I would do. Because same thing with CJ. When the Texans drafted him, he came up. He was like, "Hey, I want my guy Tank Dell," and that was the year that he did really good. And when CJ started becoming bad, is when Tank Dell tore his ACL.
mm,
So it's like,
yeah.
it shouldn't be just one receiver makes him good, but that familiarity does help a lot, and it's more confidence than
Well,
anything. And so he
especially,
was like, okay,
yeah,
Brock Bowers, and then this guy, yeah,
I would think, especially if the rookie year, right? If he's to start the rookie year, that familiarity matters. And I hope
yeah,
not. I hope it's a
definitely,
long. It's hope it's a long year for Mendoza just learning, bro, off of
yeah.
anybody. I don't care. Fucking AOC.
Yeah, yeah, right. If we're getting something from Gino, then
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
If we're gonna get like a trade for him, like to the Cleveland Browns, yeah,
mm,
some shitty
yeah,
place that needs him. But if we have to just cut him, I'd rather just keep him. We
yeah,
have money, so money is not a problem. And and if everything we heard about Pete Carroll is true,
hmm,
then maybe it wasn't Gino.
right,
Maybe Gino
right.
can be,
A little
can be the
better.
next Darnold. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Like reclamation. So yeah, man, and everything that they talk about Gino's him being a professional, how he carries himself, how he approaches the game, how he approaches the studying,
yeah,
you know, man of God, how he approaches the off season. So that I would love for him to be there. He's 37, so why not? And like you said, I would prefer for him to be like starting and then Mendoza coming in. See what he
yeah.
learns from the first two games. So see how the huddle goes, how to pronounce and all that. So yeah, that would be my big thing. But at the same time, if he's doing that good that they start him, we gonna be in for a ride, boys.
I mean, man, I'm just cautious.
Yeah,
I'm just being cautious. But yeah, if
yeah,
they do, if it turns out well, it turns out well, man.
yeah,
I'm all Raider Nation in.
yeah.
Thank you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe.
We got a coach.
Raider
Coach.
personnel. Let's go, Clint, baby.
Raiders,
Clint
Raiders,
Kubiak.
Raiders, Raiders, Raiders. The Klint Kubiak squad. Raiders, Raiders, Raiders.